Karmelo was dating a bunny. Salsa bunny, I believe. Rice bunny, it's a bunny. I need them to tell their son, you cannot communicate with her as we go through this retrial. Do you know why, Loon?
They'll flip her.
No. Who was the mystery witness that could have exonerated Karmelo and instead turned into Carmelo's Judas? Eddie Parra. Remember him?
Yes.
Who was Eddie Parra? Carmelo's girlfriend's play cousin. Eddie invited Karmelo under the tent. Judas and the Black Messiah. Judas and the Black Messiah. Eddie Parra, mixed race, black, Asian, or black, Latino. Either way, his mom not black, right? He invited Karmelo under the tent. He's play cousin to Carmelo's girlfriend. So I'm telling Karmelo Anthony's mom and dad, tell Karmelo he cannot communicate with his girlfriend because the witness who stood on the side of the twins loom, he did not stand up for Karmelo on that bench. He stood up for the white twins. He lied under oath and said him and Karmelo were not friends. And then the defense attorney cross-examined him and said, you've been in this house.
Yeah.
Y'all done played sports together. Y'all done went on dates together. Y'all done won. He tried to say he didn't even know this.
Right. Yeah. He tried to separate
And this
himself.
is the girlfriend's play cousin. Guess what, Loon? Karmelo needs to understand something. She ain't your girlfriend no more. I'm not saying she did nothing wrong. I'm not saying she did nothing wrong. I'm saying we cannot risk you being legally lynched again because you pillow talking on prison phones with a girl who could be feeding the enemy. I don't know if she's guilty or not, Loon, but we not taking no chances. Do you feel me?
Right.
The only person Karmelo Anthony should be talking to in that jail, mom, dad, and lawyer. Mom, dad, and lawyer. We can't trust nobody. You can't get no damn conjugal visits. Because do you want your life or are you worried about loneliness? You see this? Karmelo, you're going to have to be lonely right now, my brother. Because talking to her and she feeding Eddie, Eddie was the Judas in this case. Eddie could have told the truth. But you know why Eddie didn't tell the truth, Lou? Because Eddie know he helped instigate the conflict. Eddie was one of the ones with the twins egging Karmelo on. You ain't got nothing in that bag. You ain't got, they dared him to pull the knife out. And Eddie, Karmelo's fake ass friend, is part of the reason this situation happened. You invited him under the tent, you instigated the fight, and that boy lost his life. And then you got the audacity, after inviting me under the tent, after instigating the crisis that led to this boy's life, you got the audacity to come to court, sit on a stand, and tell the world you don't even know me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is why, Loon. And you know me, I accept and I embrace our mixed race Africans. But if you have black children, all black children, if you have black freedmen as children, and they got mixed race friends, you better find out what the non-black parent thinks about black people. Because I'm going to tell you what I think. I believe Eddie's Asian or Latino mom sat his ass down and told him, you're going to side with the white boys. Because we ain't going to get nothing out of siding with no ninja.
Wow. It looked like a setup to me, y'all. Man, listen, the game is dirty. You know, Karmelo would have been better off in an all-black public school. Being up there in that county he was in, at that school he was at, surrounded by the people he was surrounded by, it really placed him in a dangerous situation. It really did. Now, we talking about Eddie Parra got on that stand and said he didn't know Karmelo at all. There's photos going viral right now of Karmelo and Eddie everywhere. And I could tell you, jealousy is real, y'all. It's always the ones close to you. Perhaps Eddie wanted Karmelo's girl. You know, I can imagine that Karmelo was rather popular in the school, probably, had a lot of people revering him. He saved a kid from drowning when he was 14, star athlete, 4.0 grade point average, has the girl that Eddie probably wanted, talking about that's he the play cousin. I can tell you now, Carmelo was probably a talker. Carmelo probably, talked his talk, and Eddie wanted to see if he was really built like that. So what did Eddie do? He started talking to the enemy, saying, "Hey, yo, Carmelo be talking wild about y'all. He said y'all team is trash. He the best out here. Whoop de woo. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get him over here." Then got on the stand and admitted that he dapped Carmelo up. He admitted that, but he said, "I didn't really know him like that." That's all you need to know it was a setup. And you can see how the McCaff brothers and the team, you can see how they entered that track meet. They was looking for trouble. I don't care what nobody said. The way they entered into that school, they was on a mission. It really looked like a setup. They were really marching like they were on a mission to go and pack Carmelo out. I'm telling you. And from everything we saw, that footage was doctored. We did not see the actual attack because they doctored it to the point where you could see some commotion breaking, and then all of a sudden, Carmelo's not underneath the tent anymore. But then when after everything happened, they chased them like they were like wolves who smelled blood. They looked like they was on a mission. I mean, let's look at the scene. We're gonna get into this because Eddie's in trouble. Eddie's in trouble because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Carmelo got an all-star. I'm talking about an all-star Justice League. When I do the rundown on the lawyers that Carmelo got in place, and we can watch these people enter as I speak, I want y'all to just look at them. They just looked like they was on a mission. Everything popped off once they got to the tent within minutes. Within 2 minutes of these guys getting into that tent, it all went down. So now it's not an argument whether or not Carmelo was under the wrong tent. When we now know that Eddie invited him under that tent. So that's no longer an argument. Now you could just look at these pack of wild thugs. Look how they are marching to this. They just look like they're on a mission. And for the fight to jump off so quick. Listen. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, did some research. Come to find out, Carmelo Anthony had a shoulder injury. So you hear a lot of people saying, why didn't he just throw hands? Why didn't he just swing? Why didn't he just do this or do that? Come to find out, Carmelo was on a short leave because of a shoulder injury. Now, I want you to imagine 6 teenagers bigger than you surrounding you. You don't feel safe. You in this school where you're the only foundational Black American who's a star. You're excelling in everything. And then all of a sudden, you got all these guys surrounding you with hatred. Now, I want y'all to peep this footage. Now, look, it wasn't long before they got there. Carmelo enters the stadium. Y'all see Carmelo's going in there. Carmelo enters the tent. It did not take long. Now we're talking about a young man with a shoulder injury and epilepsy who protected himself. And you know what? I'm going to tell y'all right now, Karmelo has a good chance of actually winning that appeal. When you see the all-star staff of attorneys that he have, I'm talking about he has the Justice League, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give y'all their credentials. Now, look, see, that's where the video was doctored. Now, you see, that didn't take long at all. That didn't take long at all. This was a pack out. Eddie was the double agent. Eddie was going back to the McCaff boys. He was going back to that other team. And Eddie was telling them, hey, yo, Karmelo think he this, he think he that. Meanwhile, Eddie more than likely want Karmelo's girlfriend. Or who knows? Maybe they already dealing with each other. We don't know. Now, as you can see, it happened quickly. It took no time at all for that attack to happen. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about this all-star cast because y'all not going to believe this. And look how long they chased them. They were trying to jump him. And I truly believe that when Karmelo defended himself and stood his ground, I truly believe that the guys who chased him didn't know that Austin McCaff was stabbed because it happened so quick. I believe they thought it was just a fight. And they just seen Austin drop, and they just started to chase Karmelo. Now, mind you, we know this isn't premeditated murder because Karmelo, when he got in the car, he asked, was Austin okay? He said, is he going to be okay? He actually showed remorse. And regardless of what you think about the situation, you can say what you want to say. Karmelo Anthony did not deserve 35 years. Even if, let's say hypothetically, the lawyers take this, this appeal goes right, and they get it down to manslaughter, that's a win too. But 35 years is just insane, all right? Now that all the facts are coming out and everything is unraveling, we can see clearly. We can see what's going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, those guys who walked in that stadium, they had murder on their mind. You know what I'm saying? They had murder on their mind. It just backfired. Because who knows what all of those young men could have done to young Karmelo. And then also to add insult to injury, we're talking about a young man who was 17 years old when all this occurred, but nonetheless, they charged him as an adult, and that doesn't even make sense. And he's a first-time offender. So, I mean, look, we're going to talk about the Justice League because they all over this case. And when you got all these high-powered attorneys, coming to your aid, that's a good sign. That is actually a really good sign. I mean, I could tell you these cases rarely get overturned, but if there was a case that has as much public attention as this one, I believe this is one that could be overturned.
Anthony, baby, he's got a new team behind him. So a new legal team filed substitution for counsel to pursue appeal for Karmelo Anthony. Baby, and here's the starting lineup. Nobody came to play. I know people thought Ben Crunk would be up in here, but don't worry, he brought a co-counsel to the team. Now leading this counsel is Russell Wilson II. And if you want to know the credentials of everybody on counsel, you can go ahead and stop, pause, and read.
I got him. I got him. So Russell Wilson, the second. Listen, lead counsel, founder of the law office of Russell Wilson, the second in Dallas, criminal defense attorney, reportedly serving as lead counsel for the appeal team, known in Texas legal circles for criminal litigation and appellate work. Goodness, that's just one attorney.
I just want to make it clear I stand with Karmelo Anthony, and I love that our community has come.
I'm going to list all of them because y'all got to understand. They also got Gary L. Bledsoe, third chair. Gary L. Bledsoe, founder of the Bledsoe Law Firm, president of the Texas NAACP, civil rights and constitutional law attorney, one of the most recognizable civil rights lawyers in Texas, has spent decades litigating voters' rights, discrimination, and constitutional cases. Woo-wee. You got Michael L. Ware, second chair, former federal prosecutor. They got a former federal prosecutor. Veteran criminal defense attorney, has handled numerous high-profile criminal cases, brings both prosecution and defense experience to the team. You got Brooke Clues, co-counsel, attorney with Ben Crump Law. Background in civil rights and complex litigation matters. Adds a civil rights perspective to the appellate efforts. We're not done yet, y'all. Just give me a moment. You got Sean Deridia, founder of Deridia Law Firm, trial attorney with experience in complex litigation, known for high stakes legal disputes and courtroom advocacy. Justin A. Moore, attorney with Stafford Moore, PLLC, trial and appellate litigation experience, Texas-based attorney involved in major civil and criminal matters. Sheesh. Now listen, these are not just any six regular attorneys. We're talking about criminal defense experience, appellate experience, former prosecution experience, civil rights litigation, NAACP leadership, and Benjamin Crump representation. Bro, he has the Justice League. I mean, they got a squad. They got a squad. And yeah, that's right. Hebrew Care said it. Karmelo getting out, that's when stuff gonna hit the fan. Look how they still crying about OJ. Oh yeah, the white supremacists and those who like to hold onto their coattails, they're gonna have a conniption. They're gonna have a damn conniption. It's gonna be white supremacists taken to the streets in droves, and they're gonna be trying to be on their get back. That's a strong team. And I believe that Karmelo, he has a really good fighting chance at this point. Now, these are all of the lawyers that are filing a petition to push this appeal through. Some of them are pulling up. They're making video. Hey, we're doing the work. They're letting the public know that they're doing the work. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. Here's the other side. Here's the other side. The other side is, if this appeal is rejected, that is a huge slap in the face to all educated foundational Black Americans. That is a huge slap in the face. That will be utter disrespect to just the judicial system in general. I mean, on an unprecedented level, when you look at the level of professionalism, experience, and what these lawyers are requesting, they should get it. If they don't get it, I will be shocked. That would be like them saying, we don't care about the power of your lawyers. We don't care about their educations. We don't care about none of that. Yeah, they may really start the race war. They may get the race war popping if Karmelo get out. Because you know these white supremacists, they always looking for vengeance. They always looking, to, kill, steal, and destroy as the devil does. That's what they do. But this is beautiful, y'all. And don't let these people tell y'all it's not about race, because it is about race. Don't let them tell you it's not, because we know if the shoe was on the other foot, and if it was a Caucasian student that was a straight A student, helped a kid from drowning while he was 14, If he was to stab some black student to get him up off of him because he attacked him, then we know that the police wouldn't even have took the cuffs out. I can honestly say if it had been Karmelo versus another black student, I don't think the cuffs would have went out. I don't think they would have cared at all. We know it's about race, but that's what it is. That's America. We can't act like anybody just trying to stick their head in the sand and act like America is not ran off race. Like it's like, come on now, that's ridiculous. But you have a lot of Sambos, Tethers, and Raccoons who act like we're living in a damn rainbow coalition. That's not how the world works.
Hey man, it's he deserves to rot in prison for the rest of his life. It was a savage killing, no self-defense. If they want to make it about race, you know, like they always do, you know, we can do that. But
it's about race for him too. Watch this.
I think we came out on top with this one.
What brought you out here today? Why do you feel like this is an important verdict for us?
Yeah. This, in my opinion, this is the front lines, man. This is where the future happens. You know, with all this stuff, all this race stuff, all this, you know, blacks killing the whites. You know.
See, that's the narrative they want to push. You know, these people are at war. You know, you notice his cap said war. He said it's not about race, but then he turned around and said, this is a win for us. This is the front lines right here. And they want that narrative out there. The war is one-sided because the Most High God going to wipe all you heathens out. I don't care what nationality you are. And it is what it is. And this is not a war that you really want to fight because we got the Father contending for us. And it's not going to end well. It is not going to end well for white supremacists. It's not going to end well for the Tethers, Raccoons, and Sambos that cleave to him as well. It's not going to end well for you. But anyway, peep this.
Exactly what I said. It's about race. Stop playing into the narratives. You dumb black people that's trying to run to these Edomites as charged, trying to run and defend them. It's about race for them. They fighting to stay on top. You see, a few posts ago, I just told y'all that it's bigger than Karmelo Anthony and Cyrus Carmack Belton and Sandra Bland and Tamir Rice and so on and so forth. It's bigger than that, all right? It's to let black people know you will not be allowed to harm us, although we can harm you. Once again, Zechariah chapter 11.
That's exactly why they released the video on Juneteenth. Anybody with common sense knows that they were trying to set a message. On the day of our supposed freedom, and we really still ain't free until the Messiah released us from this Babylonian captivity. This will be the last captivity. But, you know, them releasing the footage on Juneteenth, that was done on purpose. Like anybody who is symbol literate, anybody who has deductive reasoning skills knows when the media is trying to put forth a message. And the message was, we can attack you. You can't defend yourself. The message is, you know, we're going to show you our hypocrisy and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. The young man Belton, Cyrus Belton, was killed a week earlier. And the Asian guy, Mr. Chow, got off. And then they released this footage right on Juneteenth. They're telling you. I mean, they pretty much fueling more racial tension because they want a race war too. But, you know, like that's what it is. But let's go. Let's go to the scriptures because this scripture that he's about to read is very powerful right here.
Verse 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
Their own shepherds pity them not. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, be blessed the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Meaning our own people won't pity us. Our own people will say, well, Karmelo got what he deserved. Karmelo got what he deserved. You know, I have no pity for him. But guess what? The possessors slay us and they hold themselves not guilty. Why? Because they control They control the judicial system. The wisdom of Solomon said that their law, right, would be the law of justice, meaning their judicial system. And they can exonerate and admonish themselves of all evil while they do evil. That's what, listen, that's what it is. We got to stop acting like we don't see the devil for what it is. Let's go.
Let me show you what it means when it says their own shepherds pity them not.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone.
There was no innocent until proven guilty. He was already guilty.
They are delusional. Look at the shirt that he's wearing. It says, believe Karmelo. Believe what? He hasn't said anything. He didn't take the stand. Believe his silence? Believe your t-shirt? This is illogical. They create these echo chambers where you can have all of your delusional thoughts confirmed. He didn't want to harm anybody. He didn't want to kill Austin Metcalf. Your son brought a knife to a high school track.
And that right there is what the Bible means when it says their own shepherds pity them not. We die, we go to jail, no one cares.
Right, not even our own people. And you notice the people who are getting the most views are those who are siding with white supremacy. Those are the people getting the most views. Those siding with white supremacy. Your Hodge twins, that clown that they just played, what's his name? I can't even remember his name right now. Used to be on ESPN. That clown. It's a whole host of them. Yeah, Anton Dang, all of these people, they're getting a lot of views showing no pity for their own people. And you know what makes them shepherds? What makes them shepherds is our people follow them. Our people follow these individuals, so they are shepherds. They don't have to be in a pulpit. They don't have to own a church. They have large social media followings. And for whatever reason, people support Sambos. People support raccoons. I don't know. I don't get it. But that's what it is.
Not even on. A young white man dies, all white people gather together. An Asian man gets knocked out of his seat on an airplane, the Asian community come together. The black man dies or the black man's up for trial and black people turn against him. You can't make it up.
Real talk. And I got to say shout out to Umar Johnson. I'm going to say shout out to Umar Johnson, and I'm going to say shout out to IUIC as well. Umar Johnson, I might not agree with all of the Pan-African stuff, but Umar, he got that school built up. I seen the videos of Umar walking that school, and we owe Umar Johnson an apology. All of us. I mean, I thought he was scamming too, but he wasn't. The school is built. And I don't know for the life of us why we thought that this man was going to be able to get the school built in less than 5 to 10 years. It's a school. What other man do you know in America who came from YouTube, making social media posts, whatever, to actually building a whole school? The man built a school. So I got to salute Umar, and I'm gonna say salute to IUIC too, because the Mississippi shooting of the 1-year-old, they shut that Walmart down. IUIC pulled up in Mississippi. They were the ones who stood out there. People stopped going to that Walmart. That Walmart has been shut down, and that's a step. I still believe that the family got to do what they got to do to get some type of some justice for young Keon. But our people be trying to come together in the best way they can. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to give credit for that. So I'm going to salute them for that, for pulling up like that, because I didn't see nobody else pull up. So it is what it is. Now, man, this is getting interesting, y'all. Matter of fact, let me show y'all how they pulled up.
They didn't make it about themselves. They made it about this family, and they made it about these communities. This is real brothers and sisters. These are real black men, real black fathers. We gotta go in that spot up there. Real black fathers. That's out here supporting their community.
I need to hear them boots. Pound, make that sound.
That's what it is.
Pound, make that sound.
Boycott Walmart.
Yeah, that Walmart's been shut down for like a whole week now. Nobody's going there. Like the employees not going. They shut it down. You know, sometimes you just got to hit them in their pockets. And, you know, as far as the family go, I hope that they go ahead and get their defense team and go ahead and sue the police department. I hope they go ahead and do what they need to do to sue that police department. Straight up. Straight up. And I'm going to tell you why these folks are getting so desperate, because the Most High about to judge Babylon. Make no mistake about it.
So check this out. Y'all know I do some of my good thinking while I'm driving. So the powers that be are pulling out all of these last stunts, trying to hold on to the last little power they think they got. They never had power to begin with. They was just under the illusion. God is still in control. So with all of this changing the voters' rights, changing names, changing places, all that, none of that matter. None of that matter. The 400 years was up in 2019. God was so gracious, he gave them a little leeway. And they know, the powers that be, all these satanic bastards, they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen. And for the record, black people are God's chosen people. We're hated all over the world for no cause. You can't see that? We are detailed in the Bible. Scripture after scripture after scripture. I've researched it. That's us. And judgment is coming to America. Judgment is coming to these satanic bastards. And they know what they've been doing. All the people that's in power, in entertainment, in politics, and all of that, they all had to take an oath, a blood oath, and go through a ritual to invite and be possessed under Satan's will. He promised them the same thing he tried to promise our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ when he took them up on that high mountain and told them to look out. I'll give you all of this if you just worship me. That wasn't a lie. Jesus said, are you going to give me something that's already mine, fool? And everybody that took that oath, they trembling now. They trembling. Satan trembling. All his henchmen, all them demonic bastards are trembling. That's why they scrambling right now. Mm-hmm. I know the truth. And judgment is coming to America. God is using him. He using Trump to do what he got to do. He finna isolate this country and then bring it to ruins. You don't see it? He finna isolate America and bring America to his knees, just like he did in Egypt with Pharaoh. Brought Pharaoh to his knees. And guess who walked out? And guess who walked out with everything? We did, just like we finna do it again.
Yep.
That's law.
That's law right there. Matter of fact, the scriptures validate all of that. Isaiah 13:11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. Oh, they real arrogant. They real boastful. But deep down inside, they peacocking. They showing off. They desperate. They trying to pull out all stops. Even the Sambos who attach to these Satanists and Luciferians, like your Jason Whitlocks, showing no mercy towards our people. Oh, they worried too. They know. They can see that the Most High's people are rising. They know that we fighting through obscurity. They know they on the wrong side of history. They know that they didn't gave up their birthright just like Esau did. They know that they agents of confusion and chaos, and they got their souls to pay. Hey, listen, their judgment is coming. The book of Habakkuk 1 and 2. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence. That's what we got going on right now. Our people are going to cry out to the Most High, and he's going to answer. See, the prophets describe a society filled with violence, corruption, injustice. And guess what? That's always right before judgment comes. We're knocking at the door of judgment. I'm telling you. And all corruption, they're going to have to pay for it. And you know what? I really hope that, what's his name? That Eddie Paradu, I hope he gets exactly what he deserves. And guess what? I'm going to say something that nobody thought about saying. But I'm going to put this out here. Number one, Eddie should be charged with perjury and be arrested. And also, those lawyers that Karmelo got now, they better demand the real footage that's undoctored. And I think they're going to get a hold of that. Look, one thing about it, the truth going to come to the light. The truth going to come to the light.
So let me get this right. The Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation, rest his soul. The situation is starting to die down now. It's been about a week, maybe two, since the sentencing and the verdict. And the situation seems to be dying down, and just magically, all of a sudden, you released the arrest footage, and to my knowledge, you have also released the footage of the incident where, it's not that hard to find, but I saw it. Why all of a sudden now? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's dying down. Because you're seeing a lot less of the conversation concerning the situation. So the powers that be, you want to keep it going. You want to stir it back up, get it back in people's minds. And if people start rethinking about it, then they start talking about it again, and then they start posting about it again, because there is an agenda to keep the racial division going. You really can't make this up. And it's sad. Like, when are we going to see the tricks and the tactics that they're using? When are we going to see it? And to every person that is reposting the arrest, you're an idiot. I'm sorry to say, you're an idiot. But I see through the games that they're trying to play. And I'm going to be honest, it's sad. Here we go again.
Well, the truth is, the powers that be are stirring the pot. They do want a race war. And they're not going to get exactly what they're looking for. Of course, there's going to be a situation where the white supremacists, the purge folks, they're going to get their opportunities to do their dirt. However, the mass majority are actually getting along a lot better than the media is showing. But see, the media is such a powerful tool because it changes perception. So he's onto something. He's right about what he's saying. But also, what we got to understand is the Carmelo Anthony situation is so polarizing because it questions so much about the underlying issues in society. Things that, a lot of people are afraid to talk about. And it points to the atrocities that our judicial system do, as well as the disparities that we have amongst our community. So we have to have these conversations. And, the Carmelo Anthony situation brings that broad perspective into play. So listen, everything that's done is done for those who love the Most High, for the greater good that love the Most High. The Most High put this stuff out for a reason. We're supposed to be able to have these conversations. Inspired Me says they want martial law so they can put us in FEMA camps. Yeah, they definitely want martial law. They definitely do. They definitely do.
Everybody's asking me about the Karmelo Anthony conviction on Tuesday, the 35-year sentence, and most especially his appeal. His lawyers have already filed it. But this video is really not about his trial. It's about who will decide his appeal. Because every judge who decides his appeal got their seat the very same way. Somebody voted them in, and somebody stayed home and voted the couch. That said, let's talk about his appeal. His appeal goes first to the Fifth Court of Appeals here in Dallas. That court must hear his initial appeal, and 3 judges from that court will read it and rule in writing. Now, if we don't vote for those judges, others will vote the GOP judges in, and those judges tend not to really care much about us, if at all. Right? And those judges tend to come from Collin County, Hunt County, Kaufman County, and so on. But because we showed up in past elections, Democrats actually sit on that court as well. Thank God. And that's not luck. That's turnout. And 3 of those seats, though, are up on the ballot this November. 3 of those seats. We put those judges on that court from past elections, and our assignment, part of our assignment in November, is keeping those judges on that court. Here's why. If Karmelo loses at the Fifth Circuit, Karmelo has to ask the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals to step in.
Yep.
9 judges on that court, and all 9 of them are from one party, the GOP. And it's been that way for 30 years straight. 3 of those seats on the Court of Criminal Appeals are open this November. 3 Democrats are running. A defense attorney I know, a judge I know, and an appellate court lawyer. If we win those 3 seats, a third of that court changes overnight, just like that. The problem is, though, eligible black Texans don't vote. Most of them don't vote. And that's how the GOP took and kept every seat on that court for the last 30 years. Not because they couldn't be beaten, but because nobody showed up to vote them out. So when they say vote for what? Tell them Karmelo Anthony. Tell them voting rights, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act.
So not only is it going to take this team of attorneys, hold on, y'all. Not only is it going to take this team of attorneys to get this appeal, but it's going to take the people of Texas. So if there's anybody in Texas that y'all know, share this material right here, because this is valid information. And, you know, hit the share button, hype this live stream up, because I want people in Texas, which I do have people who view the platform in Texas. I want them to be able to know this, because we want to make sure that that appeal goes through. We want to make sure that appeal goes through. We now see that Karmelo Anthony was set up by Judas. He was betrayed by his friend, who was probably trying to sleep with his girlfriend, or has already slept with his girlfriend. He invited Karmelo under that tent. It was a play. They were setting him up. And then Eddie Pera got on that stand and lied under oath. And mind you, this was pretty much an all-white or Hispanic jury. I think they had an Asian guy up there. And Karmelo was just completely, he had all the odds stacked against him. I mean, he had all the odds stacked against him. He's in a situation where the whole county wanted to see blood. They wanted to make an example out of him. Not only did they make an example out of him, but they paraded the outcome on Juneteenth. So he had the whole town against him, you know? And I believe, honestly, I believe that some of us are just end up targeting individuals because we shine. Karmelo had a great reputation. His family was prosperous. Karmelo had everything you could think of. He had nice vehicles, nice clothes, an athlete, all of that. Popular, straight A student, had a had a demo of saving somebody from drowning. No, that town hated him. His light was a threat. Somebody said, wait, this was over a girl. So Eddie Pera, which was Karmelo's friend or acquaintance, was Carmelo Anthony's friend or whatever, was Carmelo Anthony's girlfriend's play cousin. The same Eddie Pera invited Carmelo under the tent, dapped him up and everything, knowing that Carmelo was walking into a setup, knowing that Austin McCabe and his group of thugs had ill intentions, knowing that it was a setup. I'm telling you, that's how it goes. Listen, when things pop off like that, it's always somebody trying to set the play. It's always somebody trying to set the play. And then got on the stand and said he didn't even know Carmelo like that, which proven to be a lie. There's pictures of Carmelo in this man's house. So, hopefully young Carmelo got his head up. He doing what he got to do. More than likely, he still has some type of protective custody going at the moment because this is still so high profile. I don't know if he's in general pop. He may be. I don't know. But one thing about it is I'm not worried about our people hurting Carmelo in prison. I'm not worried about that. People think, I don't know what people think prison is like a show of Oz all the time, everywhere. But that's not how prison is. There are certain codes. Unless you're stealing from somebody, you keep your head down, mind your business, show some respect. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get respect back. But what I am worried about is the white supremacists in there. I'm worried about the white supremacists that are in that Texas penitentiary. So, but nonetheless, that's what it is.
And oh yes, tell them reparations. And as always, stay woke.
There's been a lot of controversy around Carmelo Anthony and the appeal. Here's a little information from some of the experts out there.
First, Mark, did I basically lay it out right for people's understanding at home? You don't have a right to jury by people of your race, but people of your race can't be excluded on that basis from a jury either. What do you make of what is known in the law as a Batson challenge here and why it was rejected by the judge and what it could mean on appeal?
You asked, the first question was,
Right, did you notice what he just said? You can't deny a person's race either for the jury.
Did you get it right? Don't get upset, but no.
Let's play that back.
There's been a lot of controversy around Carmelo Anthony and the appeal. Here's a little information from some of the experts out there.
First, Mark, did I basically lay it out right for people's understanding at home? You don't have a right to jury by people of your race, but people of your race can't be excluded on that basis from a jury either. What do you make of what is known in the law as a Batson challenge here and why it was rejected by the judge and what it could mean on appeal?
You asked, the first question was, did you get it right? Don't get upset, but no, you didn't get it right. When the way you framed it, first of all, just in terms of what the argument was, one of the big battles was he going to get a voluntary manslaughter or a manslaughter instruction? They did get a manslaughter instruction. I think that just watching this from afar, and one of the problems with this case is that it was being reported and being filtered by whoever's team you were rooting for and not being able to see it, is that people didn't understand. A complete self-defense was it reasonable? The middle ground is if it was an unreasonable use of force, but to some degree in reaction.
Yep. And then I actually just thought of something as well. And I mean, this is just speculation. Everything is speculation. But could Eddie have been intimidated? Could they have intimidated Eddie? Somebody pulled him to the side like, hey, look, you don't know Carmelo. We have to frame this as Carmelo was under that tent and he wasn't invited. We have to frame this as he was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. That's just a thought. However, I don't get that gut feeling. the gut feeling I get seeing that Eddie Pera was Karmelo's girlfriend's play cousin. And I don't know, something about that. But nonetheless, if this retrial happens, that boy needs to be locked up for perjury, lying under oath. He lied under oath, and it's out now. What reason did he have to lie about knowing Karmelo? Unless there was foul play, unless there was some involvement. That's how it be, ladies and gentlemen. It's a spiritual warfare. It really is. You'll be hanging with somebody, think you cool with them, and they will invite you to hang with the ops because they want to see if you really built like that. Because Karmelo seemed like the type of kid that he probably talked this talk. You know what I mean? And they like, yo, let's see if Karmelo really built like that. Let's get him over there to the tent. Telling you, that's how people be. It be envy, bro. Like, he the only foundational Black American star athlete over there. So they looking at it like you got all these mixed kids. You got all these mixed kids, all these kids who not FBA. And Karmelo is just excelling. And they like, yo, Karmelo, let's get you under this tent. Dapped him up. But guess what? When Austin and them was talking spicy about Karmelo, the friend ain't do nothing. He sat back. It'll be the ones that's supposed to be your homie. And while it's going down, they not saying nothing. Here it is. It's 6 people surrounding Karmelo. They sitting here pressing you out. You feel threatened. Your friend not even like, you know this cat. You done been in his house. He not even like, yo, chill. He didn't de-escalate nothing. That showed me his true colors. That's a setup. Because if you my homeboy, I invite you under this tent. We chilling, we chopping it up. And these other cats get to talking spicy. I'm like, yo, chill. This my boy right here, man. What y'all doing? Nah, y'all gonna have to see both of us. Like, what you talking about? Nah, y'all not even about to get in homie face like that. What you talking about? Nah, man. Something ain't right. He snaked him out. Eddie Pera snaked Karmelo out. And then got on the stand and said, I don't even know dude. I don't even know him. I don't know him like that. He wouldn't even have had no reason to be under that tent. He would have had no reason to even be there, y'all. He thought that was his homeboy. Whole time. They was waiting. I mean, cell phone records need to be checked, all of it. I believe they set that boy up to get jumped. Straight up. Straight up. Ghost Dog shares Ciroc 34-7. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. The law shall be found perfect without lies, and wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. Right. But it's a lot of people out here who just ain't faithful. A lot of people, that's right, Danielle. It's a lot of people with a lot of weird energy everywhere, man. You got to be careful who you trust, who you call a friend. They will be the reason. Honestly, it's Eddie's fault. It's really Eddie's fault that Austin McCaff is dead. Straight up. He egged on that whole situation. He instigated the situation. He put Karmelo in a line of fire. And that was the Judas. You cannot trust these people these days. He hanging around you and your girl, telling me, oh yeah, I'm her play cousin. Nah, man.
To a use of force, that would have put you into manslaughter territory. The reason that's important,
and this should have been manslaughter,
Chris, is because to the challenges, the peremptory challenges that were used by the prosecution, this case was over in jury selection, as most cases are. When you don't have any black jurors. And mind you, you had people of color, but no black jurors in this jury. That was over. This kid was not going to get a fair trial. One of the things, I've been doing this for 43 years. Jury selection determines everything in a criminal case, number one. Number two, the reason the jury selection informs every case in every community, in every courtroom, is because you are the product of your upbringing by the way you view things. And you're never going to convince, I don't care what kind of an orator you are, how persuasive you are, you're not going to be able to impart your lived experience onto 12 people and somehow get them to understand a 17-year-old black kid who's sitting there with two people who are hulking over him and who shoved first and what degree of force he's supposed to use. A black juror may have understood that in a way that a white juror won't. I know that's incendiary. I know that drives some people insane. But I invite any person, I invite anybody who's ever watched a criminal courtroom work to take a look and see what happens. And race informs everything.
There's been a lot of controversy around Karmelo Anthony and the appeal.
And somebody says, we don't know that, brother. No gossiping. No, listen, first of all, let me address the fact that what the gentleman said on that program is correct. If it's no black jurors, you know, Karmelo was going to go to jail. When they took those black jurors out, it was already, the call was already made. It only took them 3 hours to deliberate. It wasn't really a trial. It wasn't a trial. It was more like a railroad. And I think you were talking about gossiping as far as the Eddie dude. There's no gossip. He actually lied on the stand. He actually lied. You can fact check this everywhere. He lied. He said he didn't know him. He was cross-examined. Come to find out, he took pictures with him and all that. So what he did was he played the gray area. Well, I don't know him like that. But why was Karmelo under that tent? Because you knew him. You a liar. So, yes, I can speculate that he set him up because he lied. That's not gossip, sir. That's me speculating using common sense. That's just common sense. That ain't gossip. Put yourself in these shoes for a second. Your homeboy who you hang out with, you go to his house, you kick it with him. You know, you see him over there at the tent, or he just invited you over. Hey, yo, Mello. Yo, come kick it with us over at the tent, man. Hey, or text him, hey, yo, I'm going to meet you over there. You go over there, and then all of a sudden, these guys who you probably don't like, Karmelo might have talked trash about Austin and them. Maybe he didn't like them. He didn't know him, but maybe he didn't like them like that. And I can see the friend like, yeah, he talking crazy about y'all, man. He said, y'all some trash. Y'all can't, y'all slow, y'all can't run. You know what I mean? Just instigating it. But I'm gonna get him over here because I'm gonna see if he built like that. Whole time he hanging with Karmelo's girl, he hanging with him, and then go to court and say, oh, I don't know dude like that. Bro, that's a snake. That's a snake. That's why I be talking about testing the spirit in people all the time. You gotta test the spirit in folks. Seriously.
Karmelo Anthony has two very strong bases for appeal in the conviction yesterday, where he was sentenced to 35 years for murder, for first-degree murder. These are just the two right off the top of my head that come out. Now, a number of other bases for appeal would certainly need to be filed, but I think the first two are crucial. And I say the first one, a lot of the evidentiary rulings, if not all of them, are suspect as a result of this, all that went against the defense. And the first one is the fact that the prosecutor and the judge were friends with the father of the victim. That is documented. It was on the father's Facebook page, pictures of them all together at a social gathering, drinking together. That is a highly problematic series of events. I don't know how many times they were, but it is a major, major problem because it casts a pall over all evidentiary rulings. And when you're in an appellate case, you're trying the appellate judge or the.
See, that's why, man, this retrial is needed. It's just they were all crooked. The whole damn state was, the whole town, the whole community, a bunch of gang stalking, Freemasonic cult members, bro. The whole town is crooked. The whole county is crooked, and they all hang out together. Karmelo did not stand a chance. He just did not stand a chance. Straight up.
The trial judge, and the trial judge made an atrocious error by even being the judge in this case and letting the prosecutor try this case. There are all kinds of problems with it. It casts everything is in doubt as a result of that, down to the rulings, the jury instructions. Cases have been, many cases, as they should be, have been overturned on the basis of incorrect jury instructions or jury instructions that were not given. There are just myriad problems that exist with that. And the second major issue for appeal is the fact that the prosecutor systematically excluded all black jurors. There were no black jurors. That is a major problem. It is blatantly unconstitutional. It shows a systematic and systemic racial bias of the prosecutor, and the judge didn't do anything about it, which goes back to the first problem, that he was a biased judge, was a bump on a log, was a dumb fuck judge, and screwed the whole goddamn thing up. Shouldn't even be on the bench. Is a substandard judge. There are all kinds of problems with it. He should be taken off he shouldn't be on the bench. Corrupt judge. That's what I'd be arguing. Lots of support for that. So I think there's going to be a new trial at some point, and I think the trial should be somewhere like Houston or Dallas or somewhere where there's a fairer jury and where there's a judge who's not biased and a prosecutor that's not some yokel who doesn't give a shit about justice and only wants to get a conviction, and a jury that doesn't deliberate for about an hour on a murder case. It's just disgusting.
Yep.
Karmelo and
straight up, y'all. And you know, all of the Sambos, sellouts, raccoons, tellers, they shouldn't have no problem with another case happening. They should want justice just like we wanted justice. They should want transparency like we want full transparency. If Karmelo was set up to get jumped or worse, and he acted in self-defense, we need to know that. Clearly, the footage that we seen was doctored, because all of a sudden, Karmelo teleports from being pushed to running out of the tent. We don't know what happened. And you know, from what you can see, you can tell it wasn't no ordinary push. It wasn't just like he tapped him on the shoulders. Hey, buddy, I want you to move. That's not what happened. It was an attack. I mean, he damn near pushed Karmelo between them bleachers. Karmelo just popped up quick and defended himself. It wasn't a situation like Karmelo was going to school to try to murder somebody. Murderers stab more than one time. Murderers don't poke one time, run, and say, is he okay? Murderers don't do that. No, that man defended himself. And I hope with this all-star team of lawyers that he wins. You know, the fight is still on.
They already got the money for Karmelo Anthony's appeal, and I believe they just filed it, just like I said they would. Now, if you can't admit this case was handled wrong, you're the problem. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of things about this case that bothered me, starting with the fact that the kid was just judged way too harshly. You have a straight A student, no priors, no history of violence, and now his whole life has just changed forever. Then you got people telling him how he should have reacted, and that's easy to do when you're sitting at home watching from a screen. I keep hearing people say what he should have done, what they would have done, what he could have done, but the truth is you can't tell someone how to react once the situation turns physical. Everybody responds differently when they feel threatened, scared or backed into a corner. But I guess Karmelo was supposed to just stand there and take that ass with him.
Right.
Let y'all tell it. Y'all think he was just gonna push him and stop? But it's okay because the appeal is coming, the money is already there, and I believe that Karmelo's story is far from over.
I believe it's far from over as well. And that, I mean, that's real talk. What y'all thought? What you thought? Austin McCaff was just going to push him and that was going to be the end of it? It was just a push. No, that ain't how it works. Austin McCaff should have went and got an adult. The reason why he felt froggy like that is because he had his whole team with him. He even had one of Carmelo's boys. He had his whole squad with him. He was feeling real bold at that moment. Like, yeah, this the Karmelo kid. Look, Austin thought that he would be able to push Karmelo. Karmelo would try to get up and he could just bum rush him. That's what he was going to do. It was going to be a beating. You got Austin with his brother there. No adults in sight, y'all. There's no adults in sight. Karmelo is by himself under this tent. No adults in sight. He gets shoved. Karmelo feel like imagine what Karmelo was going through. Your friend invited you over here, dapped you up. These guys are talking spicy. They're surrounding you. Your friend not even saying nothing. The boy's spidey senses was tingling like, oh man, I got to get out of this. This is a dangerous situation. Did you see how far Karmelo had to run just to get to an adult? Come on, man. It's self-defense, man. It's self-defense. It's just self-defense. And look, we're going to hear other people's side too. You know, some people don't believe it's going to be what it's going to be. You know, let's hear what this gentleman got to say. We're going to chime in.
Carmelo Anthony verdict will not be overturned. It is nearly impossible for any criminal to have their verdict overturned. It happened. If it rarely happens, it's a 5% chance of it happening, right? Because a jury, a non-biased jury made up of not all white people, but it was made up of Hispanics, Indian, all different nationalities besides black people was on that jury. And evidence was looked at, and there was a very merciful conviction. So there's no way this is going to get overturned. The family that's raising money for an appeal and all this is going to do nothing but give more money for them to go spend on new houses and new cars. Charleston White even came out and said the father was all about money, that he was not going to support the family anymore. Because this is, I believe they really want their son to be free. But I believe they also are benefiting from him locked up.
I swear, all of the Uncle Ruckus has got the same spirit, y'all. They got the same spirit. They really do. It's like you Negroes should be happy that he got 35 years. They should have gave that nigga life. I'm talking about life like Eddie and Martin. It's like they all have the same spirit. They all negative. Like, y'all raised all this money for the family. Yeah, I'm sure they want freedom, but they're going to spend the money on Hennessy and cigarettes. Like, what? They're going to get Newport 100s and Hen Dog. It's like, y'all, like, it'd be our own people. It go right back to the scriptures. It'd be our own people, bro. It'd be our own people. They like, I don't know why y'all keep raising money for them Negroes. Man, we're going to react. We also going to react to Karmelo's mother. She actually finally broke her silence, and she has some words to say, and I really want to hone in on what she was talking about. But they all got the same spirit. Like, they just all act the same way, bro.
With the national press and the national interviews and on TV weeping and sobbing, I believe It's also to build. They raised all that money, and now saying he's flat broke. How is he broke when he raised when it was $600,000 was raised for the Karmelo Anthony campaign?
First of all, for the All-Star attorneys they needed that money. Like the Sambo Raccoon Uncle Ruckus stuff gotta stop. Like, listen, one thing about it, and I'm gonna make this very clear. I'm about right or wrong, right? I'm not, I don't have a herd mentality. That's not the way I operate. Right is right, wrong is wrong. But I will say, anytime the other nations have an issue, they are on code, man. They stay on code. But we always got to have these guys that just come out of nowhere. It's like, dude, it's a 17. It was a 17-year-old. He listen. He got into some stuff in high school. He's now doing 35 years as an adult. Like, why would you want to see your little brother, somebody who can be your son, go down bad like that? Listen, let me be clear about this. At 17 years old, we all did stupid stuff, y'all. And I'm not saying what Karmelo did was stupid, because I believe it was self-defense. I believe he acted quick. He did what he had to do. But it's like, at 17 years old, your frontal lobe is not even fully developed. Yo, you're going to make mistakes in life. Let's just be clear about it. I made plenty of mistakes at 17 years old. Man, free Melo, man. These little Uncle Ruckuses, why is it costing all that money? They're going to be buying jewelry and fried chicken and new clothes and new houses and Gucci purses. They don't care about Karmelo. Like, just the nerve of the Sambos to be acting like this family don't care about their son. That's another thing that's crazy. Like, y'all be dehumanizing the hell out of people. Like, what do y'all get off dehumanizing Karmelo's family like that? The Uncle Ruckuses didn't say nothing when Jet McCaff was calling Karmelo's mother a black bee. Nobody said nothing. Listen, the Sambos ain't say, you know what, that was wrong. They ain't say, Jeff, you know, we trying to be on your side, or we're trying to stand for justice. The Sambos didn't even call out Jeff McCaff for calling this man's mother a bee and all this other stuff. He went on a whole racist rant, called Karmelo a watermelon felon. The Sambos was applauding it. They loved it. Charleston White started selling t-shirts. The other ones was like, I understand you, Mr. White man. And you know what? In your honor, I'm going to do a YouTube video. And I'm going to give reverence to Jeff McCaff. Because you know what? Those black spook jigaboos, you're right about them. That's how they were. It's sad, man, that you get to see this in real time. It's sad, but you got to make fun of it. You got to make light of it. Because there's really people like that among us that just really be shucking and jiving. They really be some coat-telling, boot-licking cowards. They really do. See, I was trying not to go in on dude so much, but every time I see him and listen to him talk, I just get Uncle Ruckus' effeminate spirit coming off this dude, cowardice spirit.
How is he broke? I don't understand that. So now the family said he's flat out broke, and there's no way that this appeal is going to be overturned, because it doesn't deserve to get overturned. I pray for Karmelo Anthony. I pray for the family. I hate that this is happening to Karmelo, but he did something. He killed and murdered a white kid. It is not right in the name of race.
He said, you hear him? He killed and murdered a pearly white kid. He didn't just say he killed somebody. He killed a white kid. He was a pearly white kid. He had his whole future ahead of. Y'all notice that when they talk about Austin McCaff, it's like they talking about pearly white Jesus. It's like every time. Like Karmelo ain't a star athlete. Like Karmelo didn't have straight A's, but Austin, he was a star athlete. I dare you kill that pearly white young man, because white is next to godliness. It's like, if that white man asked you to move, you should have asked them, do you need some Gatorade, sir? That's what they want, because that's what they would do. Austin McCaff walk up on one of them Uncle Ruckus and says, "Hey man, I need you to get up out your seat." "I'm sorry, Mr. White Man, I was just keeping your seat warm. I'll be back. I'll be back for some refreshments. What type of Gatorade would you like there, kind sir?" The nerve of me to be over here under the white man's tent. It's like, man, stop. Austin was a bully. The whole crew was bullies. They set Karmelo up, and anybody with any damn common sense can see it. It's just, man, real recognize real, man. Y'all see what's going on.
To justify murder, because we are all created in the image and likeness of God, and we should not, as a society.
But why you say he killed the white man? He said you killed the white man, but we all in the image of God. We all in the image of God, but God is white, and the white man is closer to God. So you should have got up out your seat. Like, what are you talking about? This is their logic. Listen, let me tell you something. The Sambos can't wrap their mind around Karmelo killed a white boy. That's why he said it, like he killed a white boy. He killed a white boy, though. See, that's the fear mentality right there. Karmelo defended himself, in my opinion. But that's the fear right there. They can't, the Uncle Ruckus can't wrap their mind around going against white supremacy. And going against white supremacy means protecting yourself from them. So he's sitting in his car, huffing, puffing, and sweating, talking about he killed a white man, but we all created equal. Well, why you highlight his race?
We have desensitized as a culture to killing and to murder. And wherever your skin color is, 12 blind.
Hold on, who desensitized okay, we're desensitized to killing and murder. Who did it? Who controls Hollywood? Who commits genocide all over the world? Who bombs, rapes, pillages, destroys all over the world? Who promotes violence? Who romanticizes serial killers? Who does it? He's talking like NBA YoungBoy and Chief Keef didn't cause this situation. No, that's not who caused this situation. White supremacy did, because guess what? If Austin McCaff went and got an adult, if Karmelo didn't belong under that tent, he should have went and got an adult. But he wasn't going to do that because the adults were way far away. So the European decided that he was going up and attack Karmelo. And now he's locust food. Now he's maggot food. Why? Because him and his group of thugs and white supremacists, those teenage white supremacists, and yes, I'm going to call him a white supremacist because we already heard Jeff McCabe go on a crazy racist rant, so we know how them boys was raised. And then a little mixed boy that was supposed to be Karmelo's friend set him up because he don't know if he want to be black or he want to be white. Some of them mixed kids be confused. Not all of them. No disrespect to my mixed brothers and sisters. I'm just saying, some of them be confused. They don't know what side they want to be on. And it seemed like Eddie, he wanted to be accepted. He wanted to be accepted.
Jurors when it came up with the same conviction, which was there was not self-defense. He was not defending himself. Self-defense, if he would have hit him with his fist, or if he would have pushed him back, or if he would have done something like that. Self-defense is not cold-blooded murder because I feel like I'm being intimidated by these other kids. That's not self-defense.
I can't. Because, if it was a black kid that Karmelo killed, you wouldn't have heard this guy. You wouldn't have heard this guy. It's like, I dare you. I dare you lift your hand to the white man. It's not self-defense, but if it had been a white teenager Oh, he would have been right there. Yep. Those Negroes was bullying him. I'm telling you, bro, it's horrible, man. This is bad.
That's not self-defense. Carmelo Anthony verdict.
They don't want this appeal to happen. If they do, we gonna turn up. The whole black community finna turn all the way up. Free Karmelo.
I'm Christopher King. I actually was a licensed attorney in Collin County several years ago, working with the city of Frisco on a certain project. But I'm Christopher King. My handle is KingCast online. I'm also a journalist, and I have a couple things for you briefly. Today, I have filed my request for all exhibits used at trial. We'll see how that turns out.
That's right. We're gonna listen to this, but y'all right, man. That type of talk that is mental illness. Empowered educator. That's what that is. That is real self-hatred right there. That is real mental illness. The way he was just talking. And shout out to all my Gentile brothers and sisters. Y'all know I got nothing but love for y'all, man. What I mean? We just be cracking our jokes, and I be having y'all show up for the chat. Y'all be some real ones. All the Gentiles that hang over here, they be real ones, bro. I met a lot of these people. They be real ones, bro. Don't get it twisted. I met a lot of Gentiles at different gatherings and functions that follow my platform. They be real, bro. But y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know the little white supremacists. We're going to bring them out every now and then. But yeah, listen to the appeal has been filed and set, and the lies are going to unravel.
I had mailed it in before with a self-addressed stamped envelope, didn't get a response, so I figured I'd fly down here and file it in person this time. So as to this trial, what I see as an attorney, I saw what I believe to be malpractice. And I don't know why it happened, but I will tell you a couple of quick reference points. Number one, he allowed those students young people, not professional people, to testify as to ultimate issues of fact, such as, was it murder or not? Yes. Was there provocation? Karmelo provoked him. That's not how it works.
For the sister that says she got to look up Gentile, Gentile just means a non-Israelite. So-called foundational Black Americans are the biblical Israelites. We are the people of the Bible. We are God's people. Jesus Christ was one of us as well. We come from the lineage of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when I say Gentiles, I mean any other race that's not an Israelite, meaning not a Negro. And what I mean by Negro is you could be a Negro Hispanic, you could be a Negro Cuban, you could be a Negro, anybody from real Negro descent, I should say. Anybody outside of that, including the Hamitic people of Africa, because they are also a different nation. But anybody outside of that, we consider them Gentiles. Some of the Gentiles, they cool that come over here, but you get it. That's what a Gentile is. But anyway, let's continue.
So you have to make them elocute as to what Karmelo did to allegedly provoke a situation. That's how it works. And when you don't object to it in the cases in chief, you cannot come back later post hoc and then ask the judge and complain about it in a jury charge. There were also no expert witnesses produced, no use of force expert, no jury professional consultant was there that I know of. Okay, so these are all very serious questions on this case.
Listen, for the person who said that's not FBA. FBA is a foundational Black American. I'm not talking about FBA right now. I'm talking about Israelites. Israelites are everywhere, all over the world. So when I talk about foundational Black Americans, I'm talking about us. But we're also Israelites too, historically. But of course, we go by the lineage title, foundational Black Americans, because that's what we are. That's all we know. A lot of us don't know. A lot of us never lived in Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain this. The reason why I jump back and forth, because all of our experience has been in America. Most of us in America, our culture, everything we know is America. And we have a huge role in actually building America, as well as being the curators of the culture in America. We invented a lot of things in America. We are the foundation of America. And in fact, a lot of us never were in the middle grounds, never were in Africa. Some of us were right here in America when Christopher Columbus rolled up on the shores. Some of us were already indigenous to the land. They called us Indians, all kind of stuff. But those were our people. So not all of us even came on ships. So if some of y'all got Indians in your family, Seminole Indians, Chickasaw, Cherokee. Why? Because that's your people. You're literally indigenous to the land. So when I say foundational Black Americans, I'm talking about Israelites who are already here. Now, when I say Israelites, I'm just talking about anybody that's considered Shemitic. Anybody who's considered Shemitic. Noah had 3 sons. He had Ham, Shem, and Japheth. We come through the lineage of Shem, Shemites. Anybody else outside of that, they will be considered Gentiles. All right? Just so that it's clear.
Case. And I don't understand it, but I don't like it. And I think this is the proverbial travesty of justice that we have just witnessed here. And there needs to be an investigation. It's not right. It's just not right. Yeah.
Thank you for your. Well, Carmelo's All-Star League, man. Yeah, he bound to get out.
Y'all got to be mindful who y'all call your friend. Allegedly, that same friend, Karmelo, same friend who testified against him in court. Allegedly, that same friend who was laughing while he was getting bullied. That same friend who called him over there under that tent. That's the reason why he was under that tent. That same friend who pulled the phone out to record the whole thing. And they were showing people the video. And then when they was told he had the video, he was like, no, I was pretending to record. Who pretends to record? Well, what you was doing showing them your phone? What you was showing them? Oh, I was just showing them Carmelo's social media page. What? Who does that? I know Carmelo's sitting there.
I mean, you got to understand, the county stood everything to gain of Eddie Pera saying that he don't know Karmelo. Let alone go ahead and look at Eddie's, let alone look at Eddie's phone. Because listen, somebody recorded. You cannot tell me that Eddie didn't record that situation. You can't tell me that Eddie didn't pull that phone out to get footage. You can't tell me that one of them kids didn't pull things out. You know a fight about to happen. Come on, man. Let's stop playing. You know a fight about to go down. They set the play. It's supposed to be a fight. Ain't no kid pretend to record. Listen, there was no adults around. Karmelo was all by himself. No adults around. No loyal friends around. You can't tell me there's no footage. Of course, it ain't going to be released now because they hiding. Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Telling you, you can't be hasty to credit no friend, man. It's a lot of people you just can't trust out here. They got footage. They knew a fight was going to happen. And the police, they was not concerned about that. They was just the same way the footage that was released is all doctored up. That's the same reason why we don't see no phone footage yet. You can't tell me them teenage boys didn't record that, because guess what? If there was a regular fight, it was going to go online. They was going to be sharing it on their Snapchats. I know how it go. They would have been sharing the fight. Yo, look, Karmelo, he was fighting Austin. You know, look what happened. Telling you.
Excel scratching his head like this bitch. Y'all got to be mindful who y'all place yourself around. These people been envy. These people are motives. These people is evil. These people do not want to be y'all friends for real. Them people just want to make a mockery and laugh at y'all. Y'all got to be mindful who y'all call y'all friend, allegedly.
I'm telling you. Now, Carmelo Anthony's mother, she spoke out. She finally speaks out about the guilty verdict in her son's murder trial. I want to go to this here.
So do you believe your son received a fair trial?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And we're going to keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
We will not stop fighting for justice for my son.
And as parents, have you all struggled with guilt, asking yourselves, is there anything differently? I know, Kayla, you said you wish you had gone to that track meet. Is there anything that you both wish you could have done differently?
I wish I would have just been rebellious. I was told, don't talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to, white attorney. No white attorney, they set them up. Pushed them. Hey, here you go. I mean, no objections. It was things were smooth. So because as a father of me being who I am, I got to make sure she's straight. This mama bear. I got to make sure she's straight mentally, because if she's not straight, my house ain't straight. I'm not straight. Then so because I got the kids to worry about. Got to make sure his mental health. I can't go back and forth with him right in there because his mental can handle it. The misunderstanding of what dad's trying to tell you. This ain't a daddy moment.
So do you believe your son received a fair trial?
Notice the father said he felt like he was set up. He felt like he was set up. He was told not to talk to certain people. And the mother, man, she's heartbroken, man. She's heartbroken. And, it's just really insensitive for Jeff McCaff to call her B words and hurl all these racial slurs and all of that. When she's mourning just like he's mourning. Now, I know that Austin is gone and he ain't coming back, but still, that was tasteless, especially with all the racial tension going on. Even for Jeff to do that, it's just tasteless. While, they're grieving as well. Jeff's supposed to be, he's supposed to make sure he's not fueling more hate. And, I really feel like that they have a good chance of actually bouncing back and getting this case situated, retrial, and get it done. The hope is not gone, y'all. The hope is not gone. We're going to pray for the brother. Of course, unless there's more updates on the case, I'm going to be going on to some more pressing issues going on in society. I'm not one to just keep talking about a story over and over. However, I thought that you all would be interested in some of these updates, but there's a lot going on in the world, a lot of things going on geopolitically that I want to talk about. There's some prophetic things going on. There's a lot of material that I got to get back to. But if there's more updates of breaking this case, of course, we're going to revisit. But I'm actually glad to announce that Karmelo got that all-star team of lawyers. So, hopefully the brother gets out. I think he has a good chance. Let's see what the people of Texas do. Let's see if they can get the case moved somewhere else. Let's see if the appeal goes all the way through. I mean, he has enough lawyers and power to do it at this point. So, look, one love to y'all. Free Karmelo. Y'all be blessed out there. Of course, I got more material coming. Do me a solid, everybody. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get this message everywhere and take to the comment section and let me know what you think if you're catching this on playback. One love to y'all. Shalom. Peace.